Alright guys, how's it going? Now before I get into this video, I just want to let you know I'm not very well today. One, I want some sympathy. Two, if I start coughing and spluttering or getting even more confused than I usually do, that's why, alright? But I'm trying my best, right? Now listen, in this video we're going to be talking, you know what happens when I say this name, don't you? Let's see if I can do it. In this video, we're going to be talking about Fabrizio Romano. Mo Salah! Oh, there we go. I managed it. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Rent-A-Tweet himself. And he's talking about what Liverpool may or may not do in January in the transfer market with regard to centre-back. Now, Romano has a newsletter with Give Me Strength, Give Me Sport, right? .com. And he's asked questions by fans and he responds to them. Now, he's responded to this question. It's very, very short. Now, every single thing Romano says about Liverpool Football Club, I add to a log, right? Which Dave, my AI assistant, retains for us, right? Now, Dave's been trained to analyse football news articles, commentary like this, the journalists and everything. We keep a log of everything, right? And he's got some opinion here as Dave. So I've given this to Dave as well. And basically, Romano was asked, will Liverpool sign a new centre-back in January as they continue to struggle defensively? And his exact response was as follows. At the moment, nothing has been decided. Liverpool will keep going with this squad until December and then assess options and decide. Now, I looked at that as a non-answer. I was like, well, it's not really anything fucking exciting there. But I think, think of all the questions Romano gets asked, and he's picked out a Liverpool question, right, with nothing really that he knows about or can say about. And I think he does that because Liverpool is a club that attracts a lot of interest, right? So, I don't know what you think. It's all obvious, that to me, right? Anyway, so Dave says, standard holding line, classic Romano, non-update, confirms nothing, denies nothing. Language, at the moment, and assess options, Irish trademark, hedge phrases, both give full flexibility for future U-turns. Timing tactic, by pushing any decision point to December, he buys time for further content cycles. And Dave's overall verdict was, safe placeholder update, adds no insight into Liverpool's actual transfer plans, just keeps the story warm for later. Yeah, I guess I would agree with that. Now, many of my followers don't have social media, don't follow Romano, don't subscribe to his newsletter. I like to keep an eye on everything he says. There's only two journalists in the world that I listen to concerning Liverpool Football Club. Paul Joyce at the Times and David Olsen at the Athletic. However, I do listen to Fabrizio Romano. And you've got to have some caution, right, as with what he says. Now, if Romano was talking about Federico Chiesa, I'd be all ears because I know the connection to Chiesa's agent, the Italian connection, obviously. But with Romano, you've always got to look and think, why is it? What is someone? Does it benefit someone, right? But I'd say the same thing about a Paul Joyce article. Now, Paul Joyce is the closest journalist to Liverpool Football Club. When he puts something out, I always think, well, is this Paul Joyce genuine reporting here, or is he helping the club a little bit, club propaganda? So you've always got to have that little bit of, you've got to think, when these people are speaking about the club. Now, with Romano, a lot of people think he taps in a lot of stuff, but there's no doubt that this guy, has connections in the industry. But like I say, you've always got to wonder, is he helping someone somewhere, right? With this, it doesn't really apply here, right? It doesn't apply at all. So, people allege that, that he can help players get, better contracts by the things he sometimes tweets or says in a video. Now, you might think it's expensive. Why would you pay Romano £1,000 allegedly for a tweet, or £5,000 allegedly? Well, no, euros, €1,000 a tweet, or 5,000 euros a video. If your client can secure a deal which is a lot more lucrative, say during contract negotiations, and Romano's putting out that your client is attracting interest from someone else, it might make that club that owns that player that's negotiating get a bit nervous, right? The same, he has good relationships with some football clubs, not Liverpool, right? And, he can allegedly help clubs, get more money for players and that. Romano is very, very important in the industry, probably the most important figure in terms of transfer rumours and stuff like that, whether you like the guy or not, whether you think he's a chancer or not. He absolutely, 1,000,000% can help agents and players secure things that benefit them, right? So because of that, you've just always got to think that in your mind and think, does he really know here, or is it a bit of bluff? One thing I would say is he's not going to deliberately ever lie to you or something, same as Joyce wouldn't, or Ornstein, So I know that when he puts something out, there's got to be something in there, but always think about, who it could benefit. All right, guys, I know I'm waffling on a bit, probably more than I usually do. I'll leave it with you. I do apologise if the video didn't make much sense. Okay, if you enjoyed the video or found it a little bit informative, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. There's a love heart under the video, which is called a super thanks if you would like to support me. And you can, of course, join the channel, things like that too, as well. And, I'm always upfront with everyone. October is, it's going to be a difficult month. So I really need you guys to support me this month. Because the international break, it's going to affect things quite a bit, I think. But, you can support me by thumbsing up the video and dropping me a comment. And don't forget, comments make prizes, because whoever leaves the best comment today on my videos will get a free Cop Talk VIP membership for a year tomorrow. So make sure you watch tomorrow morning's morning briefing. All right, guys, you take care. I should be back with you in a few minutes, all right?